Hi guys, a very good afternoon and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. And at this point in time, we need to look at the accusations leveled against the former CIO boss, Isaac Moyo. And we need to look at it critically and understand what is really happening. So there was information which was circulating in the past few days or weeks, which was saying Isaac Moyo was disobeying or was refusing to make a move on number 2. And right here, RUTENDO MATINYARARE has published an article which then agrees with some of the information which was circulating, but he brought it in a twisted way, and we need to deal with it without fear, without favor, and we are going to robustly look at issues. So, number 1, he says that now that the CIO boss has been removed, I will now release my book on the fight against sanctions. And RUTENDO is accusing the Central Intelligence Organization former boss Isaac Moyo of working hard to stop him from doing the anti-sanctions campaign. Is that true? No, it's not true. Why? It's because RUTENDO, for him to meet Emmerson Mnangagwa for the first time in 2019, it was facilitated by Isaac Moyo himself. I'm telling you, that is what really happened. And RUTENDO knows about what I'm talking about. The first day RUTENDO landed at Araji Mugabe International Airport in 2019, Isaac Moyo arranged for him to be picked up directly from his office. So for him to tell all this nonsense, Agarasika. And who else was in that thing? It's Joe Charamba. So it's Isaac Moyo, it's Joe Charamba. These are the two people who facilitated RUTENDO to meet Emmerson Mnangagwa for the first time. His first meeting, he held it with Isaac, he held it with George Charamba. That is the information. And no matter how you try to run away from that, that is a fact. And from then, he then proceeded to meet with Emmerson in the presence of the two gentlemen, George Charamba and Isaac Moyo. They then presented a case to Emmerson Mnangagwa. So all this nonsense and the halabaloo you are hearing right now, you know for sure that the CIO director is not going to come and answer and say, no, that is not what happened. He knows about it. So, you know, this is becoming very interesting. Then there is something which is very important. He then fingers Isaac Moyo as somebody who was stopping him or who was delaying or stopping the fight against GMOs. You know, let me highlight something which is very important, which was in the gossip cycles for the past months. What happened is there is a company, Irikurwiswa Nana RUTENDO, which has been dominating the food industry in Zimbabwe. So this company, by nature, it's very difficult to come and just make it lose its market share just like that. So the best way to make this company lose its market share is to create or is to fight it directly. So how do they operate? They've banned the importation of grain directly by companies. And also, you know, what is happening is that Kunechianoti Grain Millers Association of what ndo chiri kuleader zvinhu zvese ichocho in terms of importing grain. Makambani ese atiri kuonaya, they get authority from that grain millers chakadaro. So for you to come and say it's this company which is doing A, B, C, D, yet your grain millers association Mimi is the one with the powers to whip each and every company to buy from their own suppliers, then it becomes a problem. But who is taking the last blow? It's the company. So their major agenda is to taint its image. After tainting its image obtain a court order. After obtain a court order, punish the company severely, put some sanctions on the company, destroy it, then pave way for their own companies. Dzavari kuda kurana ivo nechikabhau chavo chinana kuda vana Scott nevamwe vese. Then who is the man behind all those people? Is number one. So now the CIO director knew about this, and there was pressure from other source quarters to say, you will not accept this, because the CIO director angoite zvinhu zvake zvemusoro wake. Kune madecisions anotorwa nejoko. Saka joke iri kuti kune wekupolisi, kune weku-CIO, kune weku-military, kune weku-prisons, kune weku-air force, vese vari kusangana pamwe chete vachigara pasi. And kana imi mukakurirwa simba in terms of making my decisions, kune zvimwe zvinhu zvaasingagoni kuita ega, because once he does that, patoone a conflict, and that conflict might even erupt to a very dangerous situation in the country. Because the military is the last line of defense in terms of protecting the internal and external affairs of any country. You must understand that. So you must also understand the role of the state security agents. You must know the role. Vanoshanda say, van operator say, how do they operate? How do they work? After all is done, CIO cannot kunema threats at the end of the day, they will put everything to the president. The president will then direct the military to take action. Saka pane zvimwe zvinhu zviri kufana vana Rutendo vanozviziva zvese izvi kuti this man was doing the bidding of number one, but with limits. He could listen to some things to say, if we destroy this institution, Zimbabwe will be plunged into further chaos and chaos and chaos. Kufinance vako, kufood vari kuda, minerals vari kuda, ika zvino kumvura vako, kwese vari kutora. Every sector vari kutora and vari kucontrola. What it means is everyone will become a puppet. Everyone will become a subject to them. Majgei ndivo, Manwei ndivo, Mafugei ndivo, Madi, which means Zimbabwe will become a fully fledged dictatorship. And it's a very dangerous situation because kune vamwe vachazopedzisira vaita resistance voti hakuna zvakadaro, and then we create a situation iri DRC in our country. That was the argument of the CIO boss. So when you see them talking about this thing, whatever it is, they will tell you kuti they wanted to work with us, or they at a certain point in time wakati it was swallow. No. Iwewe po wakapinda became the propaganda machinery, and you were working under the CIO guidance. Hapana pavaizokurega iwe Rutendo uchita zvinhu zvako wega. Zvese zvamaita ku South Africa, you were under the guidance of the CIO. Isaac knew about this. Because maimubriefer time and again, working with some of the agents dzamamuna dzoku South Africa. Saka zvese izvi tinozviziva because we have a lot of informants, we have a lot of ears on the ground. Zvese nechese chiri kuitika, we hear snippets of those things. Hakuna chinotipfura because tikasazvinzwa panyama tinozvinzwa otherwise. So they will tell you, hey, they storm our strategies and whatsoever. That is a false thing. Credit. Why? He is now being used to fight the other side. There is a time yakambotora a different position. Akanga continue kufamba ne-stance yakanga ichifamba nana George nana Isaac. Ndo paakatanga kuita narrative attack number one. All of a sudden, he was then recruited by number one himself. Nevamwe vatinoziva vachienda vachinogara panana Rainbow apo, vachinoita meetings avo nezvimwe zvese zvavaita, tinovaziva vachipiwa dzimota vachiita sei. Tinovaziva vese mapirwa vakatiwa nemota nemapirwa vanoitwa macoupons and everything. Saka ukatarisa chikwata chese ichocho, ndo vanhu ivavava, the same people now you have been recruited on the other side, we have been promised something which was far much better than zvamaipromisana when you're working under Isaac, and now you wakupidigura zvinhu zvese wakutanga kupopota. The biggest issue is you are crazy, and because vanhu ava vari kuprotecta. Number two is being accused of protecting chikambani chamuri kurwisa ichi chechikafu ichi, and also chikambani ichocho chaida kupinda into the financial sector or in the banking sector, muri kurwisa kuti chisasimuka in that sector again. So they will tell you about GMOs, they will tell you about what blah blah, and if you research further, you would see that the issue is not on the GMOs only. The issue is on some products which are being consumed by Zimbabweans, which have nothing to do with these big companies or retailers, which have everything to do with illegality. Marana eZANU-PF ndo ari kuenda achinotora zvinhu zvinonzwisa zvirwere zviri kugadzirwa mumukoto zvisina regulation zvichiuya macounterfeit products, ndo ari kukonzeresa macancers zvakanyanya. Unowana kune mukaka wakanzi Cremora but iri fake Cremora. Unowana kune mukaka wakanzi everyday iri fake everyday. Unowana kune mukaka very different brands but ari fake, ari matuck shops. The same applies to a lot of confectionery, a lot of food items dziri kutengeswa mumaningi umu, and this has been happening since the days of Chihuri. Zvinhu izvozvo zviri kukonzeresa macancer. Saka you'd see the blame will always go to the big companies and so forth. I'm not saying that they are saints, they have their own flaws, but the actual reports are there. Dziri kutaura kuti no, in as much as these companies, in as much as their products have toxic items, the biggest contributors are in the tuck shops. And who is protecting the tuck shops? Ndimi, because the makauya ne issue yematuck shops muchiedza kudonedza mabrand mahombe, makambani mahombe, vana okay, vana TM, vanani vese vari kuthreatenwa nekucloser simply because you want to take over that space, and by doing so you introduce the matuck shops anoya achichaja zvinhu zvishoma, and you are facilitating the smuggling which is happening kumaborder, and maripots iwaya ariko, and you know about them, they've been discussed even kujoko. So you tell us about the fight against sanctions. Iwewe hakuna kumisa kufight against sanctions. Vanhu vauri kutoshanda navo now ndo vasiri kuda kuti murwise sanctions because they are the beneficiaries of sanctions. They are the biggest beneficiaries of sanctions. Yes, we know about that. So zvese zvamuri kutaura zvekuti anzi CIO director akabhadharwa akaita sei? Makumuti akabhadharwa, makumuti is influenced or is compromised because of his closeness nema French intelligence, whatever. You are now creating stories to justify the firing of the CIO director without any reason. What caused the intelligence system to be weak in Zimbabwe? It's not the CIO director. It's not his problem. What caused that is, you have confirmed in this article, Rutendo, that imimi pachenyu makatanga kuwana ma directives from the higher offices, which means vanhu vari below the director of intelligence vanga vasingachaendese mareports kwaari, vakuita bypass vachiendesa mareports kumusoro, which means it was taking more time for the director of intelligence to gather each and every piece of intelligence, because what happens is there must be coherence within the intelligence system to come up with a well-detailed report from each and every branch. Saka coherence yoyo pakanga pasina, sungawirirano yakanga isimo mu intelligence system, because kune vari kuendesa mareports directly kune umwe munhu. Zvisiri unge zviri kufanira kunge zvichiitika. Uya ari kufanira kuzonobriefa kumusoro asina chekunobriefa because ari kudanyangwa, pari kudanyangwa mugofo. And who was working tirelessly hard in between, who was the bridge? Uyu Mfana Junior. Saka zvese izvi zviri kuzikanwa. So you can actually see that this Isaac is not a saint in all this. But Murugumurwisira kuti he is a man, number one, who has been protecting Zimbabwe from a total collapse. Imimi yaizokonzereswa a total hijack of the economy. He has been delaying some things. Number two, he has been delaying the issues dzinechekuita na general. Mubvunzo mukuru ndewekuti vamboripi vari kumboitei vakabuda sei munyika. That is the major question iri kufanira kunge ichibvunzwa iyoyo. That is the reason why this guy are under pressure. What was the last meeting between the general and the intelligence boss? Chakakonzeresa kuti vana matanga vadzingwe. We will talk about it. These people attended a certain meeting yavaka attenda yaiva iri official but isiri official. We will talk about that. So you can actually see that vanotaura zvese nonzenzala balu zvese. But what I am telling you is this is where everything lies. Ndo pane nyaya yese. So mukushata kwavo mukuipa kwavo, just know George Moyo vese vari kudzingirwa chinhu chimwe chete chakadzingirwa matanga, vari musame bracket. Number yavo inotosvika up to 10 vanhu vari kufanira kuenda. But mubvunzo mukuru ndewekuti kana zvikaitika vese vakaenda vari 10 hazvizokonzerese here kuti hurumende inyanye kusheka pakakonzeresa mipwe. Ndosaka vambotanga nevakuru vachiona mbijana mbijana vamwe vachienda. Kune vakawanda vari kufanira kunge vachienda. And let me tell you this, Niki mangwana akabva paakamira painformation paya chadonha chihurumende ichi, because idofo riri nani paposition iyoyo. Hakuna mumwe ari muZANU PF ane capacity necapability yekuita chidofo chachiitwa naNiki ipapo. That is the reason why they are scared to fire Nick. That is the reason why he is still attending. Achiri kuenda basi. But havasiri kumupa information as much as he needs that information. Because the person who was giving him much information, ndiye uyu munhu ari panjada. So it's very, very interesting to see these things happening. And we say it as it is, without fear, without favor. And we will continue to watch and see how everything is going to unfold. Let me tell you, this new director is doomed to fail. Because paari kuuya, the same system ichangoramba ichingoita yekuti information ichangoramba ichiita bypass isingaendene kwaari, inoedivetwa yoenda the other way around, yozosvika kumukuru. So how do you become effective? So it's very, very interesting. We'll be watching to see how everything is going to unfold. But Rutendo is playing with fire. I'm telling you the truth. Rutendo is one of the guys vachachema munyika ino rimwe zuva. Kana tiri vapenyu tichazviona, kana tafa muchazviona. So it is what it is, Team Zimbabwe. We will continue to speak without fear, without favor, and we will continue to speak truth to power. Isisu tiri kufamba navachamisa, ndo vatinosapota, and isisu hatina munhu anotituma, tinoita zvinhu zvinoita kuti tivake nyika yedu, because taneta nekuramba tichitungamirirwa nematofo. It's high time as young people we take charge of our own destiny, and it's high time we speak truth to power. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Petronella, thank you very much, my sister, for coming this afternoon. Grace, how are you? Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for the contributions, Mom, and my sister Petronella. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts as we continue to look deeper at what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe.